All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first SchizoSaint roast. I am going to be looking at a bunch of rifles that were submitted to me by my Discord. Now, I am totally stealing this idea from Hoplifile. However, I do think there is something very productive about this, okay? I really do love you guys, not just the guys in my Discord, but I have a love for good people. And the time is coming when good people are going to have to make some very hard decisions. And those decisions, unfortunately, might be ones they don't want to be in a position to make, but they have to make. And a lot of those decisions involve a gun. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I mean, look around you. Is the world getting any more sane? Are things getting safer? Are things starting to make more sense? I'd argue the opposite. I think things are getting to a point where having an effective weapon for not just even self-defense, but for good purposes, it's going to be a requirement. So I want to make sure that all you guys out there, you have guns that make sense. You have guns that are versatile. You have guns where you're not wasting money on them. You know what I mean? Like, the money spent on them is good. Like, it's well spent money. Because money's getting scarce. You know what I mean? Like, we can't afford to have guns for fun anymore. The guns have to serve a purpose. So that's kind of the purpose of this. I'm going to be judging all these rifles. And if this is one of your rifles, obviously don't take it too personally, but take what I say into consideration. So this is one of the first rifles that was submitted to me. This is from my buddy Hills Have Goons. Let's break this rifle down. Okay, we have a brace back here. Oh my gosh, is this thing going to stay? Ew. Okay, let's minimize that. Just put that in the corner there. And what a monstrosity. Anyway, so as we can see here, we got a brace. Obviously, these aren't relevant anymore. I'm guessing that's the SBA3. Obviously, that was probably the best brace you could get until that whole fiasco went down. We'll see how that goes. We've got the Magpul MOE grip. Not my favorite. I mean, if you like it, you like it. Grips are an incredibly personal decision. I love the Magpul K2 grip. A recurring theme in this video, you're going to see a lot of B5 grips. I think those are probably fine. If you like them, whatever. Magpul Gen 2P mag, the best magazine you could buy. I think it's better than the Gen 3 because then you don't have the over-insertion lug. The over-insertion lug, in my experience, gets caught on gear and stuff. So that's probably the best Magpul magazine you can buy. It's probably the best AR-15 magazine you could buy. Not sure what this purple marker crap is. You'll notice the receiver set's mismatched, and you'd think I'd roast it for that. I'm not. I'm going to roast it because this rifle's not painted. Every single rifle you own should be painted, and yes, the optic should be painted too. So, so that's a big thing against this. No light, no sling. However, I suspect this was probably just a poor guy build. We've got an M-lock rail. Obviously, that looks fine. I'm not. It's probably just some no-name brand. It looks totally fine. Just make sure those lugs are tight on the bottom there. I used to have these sights. I don't know what they're called. I think they're made by multiple different companies. They're like it's like a $40 set. They suck. I hate them. Don't ever use these. Get Magpul M-Bus sights. They're cheap now. We got the Vortex Spark. That might be the solar model, but it takes, I believe, AAA batteries. That's probably the best version of that optic you can get. The problem with Vortex red dots, not a lot of people know this until it's too late. On the lower settings, the light actually flickers, and it freaking sucks. For me, it's very, very annoying. I really don't like it. That's why I'm not going to be buying a Vortex red dot anytime soon. But other than that, I mean, if you can put up with it, it's probably a totally effective, totally durable optic. I like that it takes AAAs. That's kind of cool. Obviously, it's not compatible with any of the high-speed, low-drag mounts you see people running with these days, but I don't think those mounts are worth anything, but that's a whole other video. A2 bird cage, great choice. It's probably the best muzzle device you can get. Costs like $10, and it's gonna suppress flash better than just about every other muzzle device outside of a suppressor. Other than that, put a light on it, put a sling on it. This thing will be totally fine. In my opinion, though, I think every AR-15 should have magnification on it if you can squeeze it. If you can afford to. I think a Juliet or even one of the Vortex magnifiers is good as long as the mount is okay. So overall, this it's not bad. I don't think it's done. I think it needs a coat of paint. It needs a light and a sling. But other than that, it's not too bad. I would just get rid of these iron sights altogether. I just don't like them at all. Almost missed it. You can see right there. I think it's called a Schmid trigger. It's like a polished trigger. If you ever see like a silver looking trigger on a website for about $70, guaranteed it's a Schmid trigger. It's like a slightly better mil-spec trigger. It's probably what my next AR build's going to have. Very, very nice. Very, very good. So let's go ahead and move on to the next rifle here. Okay, let's start from the back. We got the Magpul SL stock with a QD. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't notice that. So you can get, what's it called? Yeah, quick detached mounts for slings that go into the sling slot of a rifle stock. That's interesting. I didn't notice that till just now. So normally this stock doesn't have a QD sling cup on it, which is really weird. It looks like he added a QD sling cup, but what's so funny about that is like you can get a version of the stock with the QD sling cup already attached. So it's kind of funny. Like, it's not like bad. It's kind of funny. Like, it's like you're taking too many steps to accomplish the same task. I bet he just started with this and got annoyed with not having a QD. So it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just kind of funny. The stock here, ooh, I'm not quite sure I know what it is. Or excuse me, not the stock, the sling here. Not quite sure I recognize this sling, but it seems fine. The stock's made by Magpul, so it's probably perfectly functional. This is what I'm talking about here. We got the B5 grip. I'm not the biggest fan of B5 furniture, but I do like a more vertical grip angle, so that's cool. This, for those of you that don't know, Aero Precision, they make two lowers for the AR-15. They make just a generic AR-15 lower, and then they make their M4E1 lower, which I like a lot better. It looks a little better. Definitely very good choice on the lower there. Safety selector, just, I don't know, kind of looks like a no-name brand. That charging handle, ooh, what is that? I'm not sure, but I think it's ambidextrous, which is nice. It's a nice touch. I don't think it's totally necessary. Again, with the Gen 2 PMags, very nice. Midwest rail, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Very, very nice. Spending any more or less money on a rail is a little ridiculous in my opinion. I believe this is the BCM vert grip. Technically, if this was a pistol, that actually counts as a vertical grip. So you can run one of these legally on an AR pistol, which is pretty funny. Very good choice there. We've got the Streamlight HLX 1000 lumen light. Spending any more or less money on a white light is a little ridiculous as well. So this is a very even, very well-balanced build so far. Can't really tell the muzzle device there. Looks like a 3-prong birdcage. Fine choice, fine choice. I mean, it's a little long, but I mean, who cares? Then we got a crusty old Comp M4. Now, if I remember correctly, the guy whose rifle this is, he inherited that Comp M4 from the military. I'm not going to reveal whose it is, but if you get one of these suckers for free, it is a wonderful optic. Again, no iron sights, so if an EMP happens, this rifle's kind of crap out of luck. But assuming you're not worried about an EMP, this is a great 1X optic. I would still do what you can to get a magnifier behind one of these. I think magnification, even in buildings, magnification can be incredibly useful. I've come to learn. So anyway, overall, this is a great rifle, though. I think this is a really, really, really good build. I think that's a little funky. I think it needs magnification. I'd put on backup iron sights, but overall, doesn't really need that much work. This is a great rifle. This is good to go, in my opinion. Okay, I was really excited to review this. This is from one of my buddies on the server. Honestly, he should be the one running a YouTube channel. I mean, he does all sorts of crazy stuff. It's great. This is a really fun gun. So we got... I'm not sure if this is a quick adjust sling. It might be. I can't really tell. Your sling doesn't necessarily need to be quick adjust. It's not like a requirement in my book. It's just makes it a lot easier to use. But this is a totally fine sling. Looks like that's another Magpul stock. I think it's not attached to any QD cups as far as I can tell. I could be wrong. In my opinion, guys, having a QD sling system is really, really useful. I've also heard of a lot of medics talk about how grateful they were for QD systems on rifles. It allows them to get the rifle off of a guy that they need to work on. So definitely recommend incorporating that. I'm not seeing a weapon light, but other than that, I mean, this rifle is sexy. We got a 20-inch barrel, which honestly, if you're doing a 20-inch barrel, you're kind of just doing it for style because past 18 inches, 5.56 really doesn't gain that much velocity. But I'm not knocking it. I think this is fine. We got a quad rail as well, which again, is it efficient? No. Is it probably too expensive? Yes. But I mean, I think it looks really cool. I mean, we got the A2 front side post or whatever it's called. Very, very nice. It's going to be very, very durable. Now, I'm not seeing any backup iron sights, so this is kind of redundant, if that makes sense. I would say throw on some backup iron sights. However, this is a great optic. This is the primary arms 2.5x. The reticle's okay. The glass is okay. It's a little heavy. It's probably very durable. What I love about this is it's sub $200, okay? So when my freaking buddies finally get into the AR-15 platform, I'm going to bully them into getting one of these. This is a very, very great optic for the price. In fact, if you just have one AR-15 and all it has is a red dot, freaking sell that and get this right now. This is a great, great optic. He painted it, which is wonderful. It's got the windowed PMags. Now, from what I've heard, the window really reflects IRs, but I mean, if you're not worried about that, if you're not worried about fighting things with night vision, then that doesn't really matter. So overall, I really love this gun. It's got a lot of flair. It's got a lot of character. It's really cool. Personally, I would just throw a light on it and then leave it alone. I think this is a really, really fun gun. Take a look at this. This is such a classic picture, by the way. We got the fat dog, small dog, Mountain Dew. I love it, man. This is great. He said this build was like $350. I'm assuming he's not including the red dot and light. That red dot is a SIG Romeo 5. That is far and away the best red dot you can get for the money. An undisputed king of cheap optics. If you are absolute poor fag, that is the optic you need to get. That is great. It's going to last forever. It's got auto off, shake awake. Wonderful, wonderful, great red dot. Really good glass too. I mean, for $100, I mean, you really can't go wrong with the Romeo 5. This light's like $40. This light is complete junk. I used to have one of these. It broke in an airsoft match. Frickin' garbage. Frickin' get rid of that immediately. Looks like it's got a weird muzzle device. It's kind of hard to tell what it is. Just put on an A2 birdcage. It's got the MOE grip, which sucks. But if you like it, you like it. Also got the SBA 3. So overall, man, I mean, take this red dot sight and scoot it up. There's really no reason to have a red dot this far back on the rail. You don't want to put it too far forward because then you start screwing with the balance of your gun. Put it like right there, right at the very end of the upper receiver. That is the best spot for a red dot sight. So move that far up. That way you can, that way you have as much field of view unobstructed by the red dot as possible. Magpul Gen 2P mag, looks like a generic trigger. Overall, for a budget build, I mean, this is totally fine. The rail looks a little screwy. Throw away that light, get a stream light, or do what I did. You know, my rifle doesn't even have the Streamlight HLX. It has a Streamlight HLX handheld light and a Magpul clamp. It costs like $70. I mean, do that. If you don't have enough money for a white light, you should do that. Don't do this. These things suck. If you ever see like this, frickin', let me shrink my magic box here. If you ever see that crap, okay, see this? Like the frickin' FBI like ear cord wire thing. If you ever see that on a weapon light, that's how you know it's trash. So yeet that immediately. Other than that, though, needs a new light, needs a sling, needs a new muzzle device. I mean, there's not a lot of work to do here, and you have a totally functional, decent gun. So overall, not that bad. Again, get a sling, though. I mean, a rifle without a sling is it's a little useless, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, this is what they call a parts rifle. So if you're anything like me, you have a lot of AR-15 parts lying around, and if you run the math on those parts, you realize you could probably just build a whole other AR-15 for not a ton of money. That's what this is. So we have an AR Optics by Bushnell LPVO. I've heard nothing but bad things about those, but again, it's a parts rifle. I can't be too mad. It's got a crappy old muzzle brake on it. There's no way he bought that. He probably had that lying around. We got the M-LOK rail is actually not even that bad. The barrel, I think that's a carbine. I see that notch. I think this is either a heavy barrel or a carbine barrel, both of which are terrible options. I can't think of a single reason to get a heavy profile barrel in an AR-15. It's got some frickin' Mexican magazine. Now, here's the thing, though. He spray painted it, right? And here's what's funny about spray painting your gun. Once you spray paint your gun, you can kind of disguise how cheap it is. Like, if he painted over the AR Optics thing, if you got an A2 muzzle device, like, you probably wouldn't be able to tell this from a $1,500 gun with the same paint job. So keep that in mind if you're worried about the way your rifle looks in front of other people, which you really shouldn't. You can always spray paint your gun. I like the paint job. Paint job's actually nice. It looks like we have that same stock from earlier. It looks like this is from the same user. Look at that weird. That's so weird, man. That just keeps freaking me out. But overall, this isn't bad. Get a light, get a sling, as always. But this is probably a perfectly fine, if not a little heavy rifle. Honestly, between the barrel and the optic, this thing probably weighs too much. Guys, please keep your AR-15s, if you can, under 10 pounds. I mean, carrying anything more than 10 pounds, in my opinion, that's a good boundary to set yourself. Like, you really shouldn't have an AR-15 that weighs more than that, in my opinion. This is probably tipping the scales. If you throw on a light and a sling, it probably would be over 10 pounds. So anyway, guys, that's just personal guidance from me. But overall, this rifle's not bad, though. It's got the B5 grip. It's probably totally functionally fine. Just needs a little bit of work. Obviously, I had to flip the whole image sideways, but here we have a California AR-15. Good freaking grief. I can't really tell what stock that is. It looks like one of the old Magpul stocks. That's totally fine. Got a sling in a sling keeper right here. So whenever you see a sling keeper, there's a few things you can look for on an AR-15 to see if someone's been doing this for a while. A sling keeper is one of them. I don't have one, but that kind of, it's kind of a telltale sign. And I think we caught that this person is left-handed. Look, normally if someone's right-handed, the sling QDs are going to be on the other side. But whoever's rifle this is left-handed, which means their mom's a witch. So, sorry, whoever's rifle this is, your mom needs to be thrown into a fire. It's freaking terrible. We have the good old California fin grip here. Good freaking grief. What a nightmare. We got backup iron sights right there. I can't tell what brand that is. I can't say I've ever seen one of those before. We do have the primary arms. The big, heavy 3X optic. These suckers weigh 18 ounces. They're a little heavy for what you're getting, but they're durable and they're affordable. So, again, if you're looking to upgrade from your red dot sight to something that's going to be more useful, definitely look at the primary arms line of Prism optics, especially the older, heavier ones. If you don't mind taking on a little bit of weight, you're going to get a lot of capability. Ooh, awkward. Get to see my dash here. What do we got? We got Minecraft. I used to play Roblox. There used to be Roblox down here. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep going here. This rail, I can't really tell the brand. I don't think it's Midwest, but it's probably totally fine. I can't freaking get a read on what these backup iron sights are. They look a little weird. Okay, weirdest thing about California gun law to me. You can't have a flash hider, but you can have a muzzle brake. Like muzzle brakes look scarier than flash hiders. Like, if you're going for a weapon that looks less like a weapon of war, yeah, that looks a lot scarier than an A2 birdcage. So overall, though, I mean, this rifle for California, it's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, why even live? I'm assuming this is a 10 rounder too. Like, California. But, however, the user that submitted this rifle, he submitted what it looked like before he modified it. Let's go ahead and check that out. Look at this. Look at this freaking disaster. Now, clearly, this is when it was at the gun store, and they were waiting for him to do his background check. Look at this. We got Dick Mod, handguard, completely unacceptable. What is this? What's going on back here? What's this Picatinny rail for? What are you there for? No one's ever mounted anything on here on an AR-15 ever. That's never happened. What do we got over here? We got some, freaking terrible, way too heavy, way too expensive muzzle brake. Disaster. We got a bronze finish, okay? For those of you that are new, for the Zoomers in the audience, the early 2010s were a weird time for the gun community, okay? Now, I was not a gun owner at the time, but obviously I kept up with the industry. We were sort of transitioning from, like, guns are supposed to be fun to guns are for, the militia and tools and all of that. So people didn't really know what to do. So people were selling AR-15s like crazy, but they had like burnt bronze paint jobs. They had the MFT grip, the worst AR-15 grip of all time. I know because I used to have one. What a freaking nightmare. We had these, these horrible paint jobs, these crazy muzzle devices. Like, it was a weird time. They had the Magpul storage stock is what that is. Not my first choice in stock. I think it's a little much, but it also costs a little too much. I think everyone should be using the CTR stock if you're going to be using an adjustable stock. but it's probably totally fine. You get these super weird paint jobs. I mean, what a weird time, man. What a weird time. This is like looking in a time machine. Look at that. Is that $1,488? No, it's $1,498. $1,498 for this piece of garbage. So there you go, man. Yeah, he's done a lot of good work with this. Overall, this was a terrible use of money, but it's okay. I bought a SIG AR-15 that was also a terrible use of money. So, welcome to the club, I guess. So let's go ahead, guys. Let's look at the next one. Okay, last rifle of the day. This is the only surviving picture of this I can find. Guess whose rifle this is? That's right. This is SchizoSaint's first AR-15. Okay, let's break this down. We got a Davidson Defense, not Daniel Defense, Davidson Defense 16-inch 223 Wild Barrel. We've got a KAC $20 muzzle device because I thought A2 bird cages looked lame. We've got those flip-up sights orientated the wrong way. Okay, they're facing backwards. Okay, that's not the way they're supposed to face. And no, the matching rear sight is gone. You want to know why? Because I got the NC Star carry handle also mounted backwards. It's got a non-adjustable rear flip-up sight. You heard that right. Non-adjustable rear flip-up sight. We've got a 10-inch M-LOK handguard. This is a 16-inch barrel. Got a 10-inch M-LOK handguard that was $40 that I screwed onto the barrel nut back here. And no, it was off by about 3 degrees, right? It was not clocked or what's called timed correctly. It is off to the right about 3 degrees, which is why I have the carry handle reaching over and clamping it together because I was scared it was going to roll off or something. We've got the MFT magazine, or no, excuse me. That's a Lancer. That's an old, no, is that Lancer? I think it's a Troy mag, actually. Yeah, Troy Industries magazine. I got rid of all of those. My buddy's shooting it. Obviously, this is mid-ejection. This was a terrible gun. And believe it or not, it only got worse from here. I mounted like a Hollow Sun knockoff red dot right here. That's right. Not a Hollow Sun, a knockoff Hollow Sun red dot right here. Like, this thing was a disaster. I tried to sell it on Utah Gun Exchange. The highest price I could get for it during the pandemic. That's right, during the pandemic. Highest price I could get, $400. People did not want this gun. Oh, I forgot to mention these Magpul grip panels. Now, I've still got a few of these. I've got a few of these on my current rifle. I painted them red because I thought Mars was really cool. I was a Redditor that was really into Elon Musk at the time. And I thought, oh man, wouldn't it be great to have an freaking Mars-themed AR-15? So I had some old Warhammer paint and I painted them red. So this rifle is absolutely horrendous. I've yet to see an AR-15 worse than this. So I think this is a great place to leave the video off, guys. I hope you picked up on some stuff. Basically, if you're going to build an AR-15, make sure it's got magnification. Make sure it's not too heavy. Make sure it's got a light that doesn't suck. Make sure it's got a sling that doesn't suck. A2 bird cage, medium, thin profile barrel. That's really all you need, guys. It's not that hard. So take it easy. Have a wonderful day. For those of you that might be wondering, hey, weren't you supposed to upload a review of the Heritage Rough Rider? All the files for that video corrupted. So yeah, it sucks. So I will be making a review of that weapon because I think it's important people know everything that's wrong with that gun. So I will be making a review for that at some point. But anyway, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye-bye.